Hello everyone and welcome back to part 53 of the full walkthrough in the Crew 2. Since the recap from the last video on the USB Tour East Edition, stage number 7 and street race along the Mississippi in Midwest is now being served as a recap. So there's going to be some change up ideas as I'm about to be ready up and go for 4 events as an encore is now being original after being tested on progress to go on recording. But it'll have to be quite doing some matter of perspective for myself because I just got mapped out to have 4 events is now being organized for this part of today's video segment. 2 USB Tour East Edition, 1 hypercar, and street race event up north in the main upstate. So I just got everything to be planned and go on brainstorming as I'm about to go enter to take the final stage on the USST East Edition because of the latest update is now putting up to have a different icon and new events as well. It's been so long because I just really had a lot of progress to go on development after every month on each part of the Theme Summon from the Live Summon event. So just gonna have to be ready up and go all in training before doing the real part as continuation to my full walkthrough as I'm about to go for the Alpha Grand Prix to take the 8th stage. It's been so long you guys, it's been so long and just gonna have to keep a good reminder to have a good map out plan to get set and be ready for everything. So up I go. Final stage in number 8 of the USST East Edition, up I go.
US Speed Tour East's final part, stage number 8. Who will be the best from Detroit, Michigan, back to New York City?
This will be a challenge between me against the clock, just to have 2 events to go on time attack as I'm about to be using for the KTM Expo R UDRS Insportec livery in the Alpha Grand Prix edition. Here's my ghost car, so I'm about to catch up and go on the chase to have the main objective to go update on the time. But yeah, that's how my icon level is now going up to be increased after every 2 months on each part of the Motorflix season by update. But it's been so long because my comeback and my best role as a commentator to have the focusing moment to be on the full walkthrough to have all kinds of best opportunities to get in and go for some different changes from the regular content video to go on live stream on the set. But for the record, because if anything else happens during this part of the video segment that might be going interruption by having blurry part that will be affected during this part of the broadcast. So I have to keep going and stay focused on the main route. Handling is doing well. Progression is now going up in 30%. I really hope the handling is doing well for my crossbow is now staying on a good speed. But yet, you'll have to keep tame like a good horse is all about master the handling to go lighter and experience. Going boost up on the straightaway to be in cool state after leaving New Harlan from Detroit, Michigan. Coming in and doing less braking, more cornering by the speed. But you guys have done this for only 1,000 times and I have been practiced for only 1,000 times from the previous Live Summit event for this part of this stage number 8. But practice, we'll have to do it much more perfectly until I'll have to get back and catch up to have some various event that will be needs to be on check before going up into check. Okay, that's a good handling. Stay on the respawn because the quality is definitely might be going a bit more different this time as part of the complete edition. So gonna coming in, take the runabout, checkpoint clear, then brake at the 90-degree angle turn. Quick recovery and bring out the blue smoke of confetti. Gonna slow down quick and do the recovery. Yeah, looks like it's like riding around on a horse who just really don't understand communication. Only for this crossbow in the AGP edition, it needs to do some handling requirement. So gonna have to keep a good hold down the line. Elevation, turn, and apex when I see it. Okay, that's good. Checkpoint go by 2. Almost there, leaving the coral state. Gonna have to ace that route and then take the highway. Go by in. 1080p in the high quality to go a bit more standardly until it'll have to be reduced by having 60 frames per second. Alright, hairpin clear and doing well. Gonna shape up and go speed up the corner on every different direction. 4.4 seconds, that's very good. Gonna keep it going before moving up onto 5 seconds on the gap. Hit the nitro. Here comes the junction by T interception. Go for right. Full stretch, baby. Highway, up I go, and one-way ticket back to New York City for a finish line to be finished on the USB Tour East. But there's going to be a bit more problem that you guys need to be very careful. Quick bus stop chicane is very much more harder that you might need to do by turns. Quicker, safer, and do the line. Alright, almost there.
Final leg of the final stage, New York, New York. As they say, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere.
Alright, looks like I just did it and beat my time in 5 minutes, 35 seconds in the decimal of .223. That's very good, and parts to be received, and this is how you'll be able to move on to take the final special on Harlem to be located in upstate New York. So gonna have to take a good check on the map and zoom out. Alright, looks like not so far, so just gonna have to go quick travel or set a waypoint that you might need to use it at any time by 2 choices by pick. Now, one last special, and then the USST East Edition is now being finished and well done. So, as I'm about to go by having a reminder pick for myself, as I just been already planned to be mapped out. So I'll have to choose any selective of vehicles to go by pick, and I just got everything to be mapped out to go for having one 8th generation Corvette Stingray in the 2020 model. So looks like now I got 2 C8 Corvettes with original and interception units, so I'll have to go and choose the standard version to the Corvette C8 Stingray with a UDRS Insportec livery. Just to have a per level of 280, and here I go. Time attack in 3 laps on Harlem is about to go initiate. I've been waiting for this moment because it's all about 2 events and time attack to go by different matter of perspective on conditions. So let's roll.
The USB Tour East. Around New York City, the Big Apple, the city that never sleeps.
Okay, looks like just gonna have to be plan and do this like last time. So I'll have to go right here, right now to do this time attack. So unlike the street race event that have more opponents, but this one is very more challenging between you and against the clock is all you need to be very more important to choose any of your favorite street race vehicle. But the corners and obstacles are made to do it, so you might have to pack up and use the Nitro Chemist any way you can. So I got the head start. Go by clean turn. Yeah, looks like the drip cam is now actually to be on record in progress. So that's 1 lap down, 2 to go, coming in on the first turn. So it's going faster in top gear because the CA Corvette is now actually to have the faster performance in the mid-engine layout is now doing excellent and marvelous. But even of course to have some vanity is now putting up with some different theme of decoration for myself, as my pick is now come up to have some different style of variation with vanity itself. So gonna have to keep coming around on this part of the turn on each part of the street. Upstate New York in Harlem is very more excellent to have the final stage of the USB Tour East Edition. So coming up and come around to have 1 more lap to go. Full stretch and hit the nitro. Brake coming in. Okay, stable and good well on the wing GT to stay in good respawn. That'll have to take good amp up by the speed to have a good improved lap time to go stable and 1 race in 1 event. Okay, gonna have to go up. Hold it steady. Now gonna have to take that last 2 turns to go by the next street. Same thing as always on that course map.
Coming up to the arrival line soon now. Which driver will master the record?
There you go. I just beat my record in 3 minutes, 6 seconds with a decimal of 0.716. There you go. Looks like it's all done and being well checked to have the USB Tour East Edition is now finished from Season 3, Episode 1 before moving up in Episode 2 of the West Edition. So, looks like good to be back, and my comeback is on the road to be on the WIP session from here until now. So very good, and just like old times from every month for each part of the Motorflix season in 2 episodes for every 2 months. So just gonna go again on the course map after finishing from Detroit, Michigan to New York City plus Harlem. Then let's go up north to the state of Maine for the Highlands East for the Hypercar Discipline and Scary Salem for only 1 regular street race event. So I hope I just got everything to be putting up to have some more car collection. Depends on each part of the discipline type is now actually what you need to do. So I'll have to go by Hypercar to be entered onto the next event in number 3 of the Encore. Well, a bit more patient. And just yet of course to have my Bugatti Depot with a UDRS White Star to be step in and be prepared to have a good max per level of 320, recommend at 230. Just to have 1 sprint race, and let's see how it turns out doing well because the White Star is about to be ready up and go for a whole new challenge. Then let's go. I got the lead, here I come, and going elevation around in the Avenue Street. So you see folks, the UDRS White Star on the Bugatti Depot is a true track-only hypercar that can actually to go challenging with other hypercars, depends on the usual and new contenders who can actually to take on with Team UDRS to have the Depot on the open road for only 1 hypercar discipline. But it's gonna have to be a bit more challenging to go clean racing because it's all about electrifying to go for having a high speed race. So the progression is now going up in 25%. Still got this in the bag and keep rolling in. But still, I just did remember back then to be using one hypercar event on the main Highlands East and other various vehicles from each part of the Live Summit event. But still yet of course, because currently to be climbing up on over 2000 of the icon level is now adding up to be around in over 100. But times have changed because WIP session is always meant to do some development work and settle in to do some recommendation by the UDRS committee as I have been launched for this operation. But it's all about be creative, development, and make a complete content video is now putting up with some changes and reduce the amount of duration per each amount of the full walkthrough video on each segment. So halfway there in about 55%, going up in 57, braking in, and go speed by the nitro to be amped up by the good excellent performance. Okay, it's 18 seconds behind the gap, still in the lead, and go all the way. Yeah, take the good airborne jump, just like playing Asphalt 8 Airborne and Asphalt 9 Legends. 6th gear is coming up on the roll, but the quality is going a bit more changed up to have a high resolution. Okay, here comes the shortcut. Gonna have to go left or right onto the avenue. Well, just gonna think fast and think quick because the left side is a bit more quicker to do the shortcut that you might need to use it in future Live Summit events. Full stretch up I go and keep it up because it'll have to get closer to have an exactly 6% to go remaining. Finish line in sight, just gonna go right in, and there you go. High speed lover in 3 minutes, 30.5 seconds. Very good. Just to have a fine official record is now being originally on the set. So I'll have to make one stop at the gas station right next to have one street race event in Scary Salem nearby. It was so good to be impressive to have a hypercar to go back into the roots for myself. So, I guess this would be quite very good to be prior to have the next full walkthrough video in New York to have a hypercar event to go for having a long trip. So, just gonna have to take one more encore event. Scary Salem is going to be having an early preparation for Halloween. Switching to Volkswagen Combi 21 window buzz is now being set on the regular, or the short version is now being used on 2 eligible vehicles to be entered at any time. So the Ghost Hunt Edition and the Combi 21 window buzz is now being available. So all I have to say is because the per level by average is now yet to be on the difference. So what do you guys think? Should I have to go for the Ghost Hunt Edition or the regular? Because size does matter because it might have to go a bit more lighter and differences on the modification. So the Ghost Hunt Edition is all I have to be ready up and get myself to be prepared for having a spooky night race on up north state of Maine. So I'll have to go for the Ghost Hunt Edition and see how it go well. Because it's about to get spooky and frightened to see some several opponents by using with a Proto Hub 1 roll car. Ooh, looks like let's roll it out and go for the lead. Looks like it's about to get spooky. Okay, looks like getting surrounded.
Woo! It's clear pavement all the way to the finish line.
Sounds good. Just gonna have to drive and crawl my way out of this. That could be quite giving it actually to be a bit more frightening to be scared. But it's the month of October because we got a few days left until Halloween will be arrived, because only one Volkswagen Combi bus in the Ghost Hunt edition is being chased by 7 Proto Hub 1 road cars to be referred as a ghost vehicle. So I had to shake up the heat and drive away from them. This has actually to be a bit more frightening to be racing like you're in a roller coaster. So checkpoint going clear. Keep it up and survive the night of racing in a haunted themed condition. Ooh, looks like Motor Nation is going to be having a best time for this year Halloween in the Crew 2. But I hope this is going to be quite very much more enjoyable for every year when it comes to have a spooky themed summon, as I've been looking forward to it. So going up in the progression on 37% earlier before. Okay, just going to survive the night. But it's always meant to be scary around in the East Coast. Right past in the Niagara Falls. Going straight, bit more forward, left turn, up ahead. Clear, and there's a deer passed by to be appeared as a ghost. Didn't see that one coming, passed by a second ago. Okay, let's go into the road. Checkpoint clear. Halfway there in 52% progression earlier to be arrived. So very obvious. Just going to keep a good inside turn without any objects to be hit. Oof. A bit near miss on the stop sign. Still in one piece, and the Combi bus is still in the lead. For over 5 seconds to be last update in the distant gap. So almost there to be passed by in the town in Stockbridge. Okay, that's a good respawn handling going check. Stay at it. In about 30% progression to go remaining, the finish line is not yet to be seen on the GPS. But what can I tell you folks, that crawling underglow is very much more referred to be having a car to be pretend as a zombie. Just going to crawl my way out and drive on the road to stay on the main route. Okay, looks like White Mountains is here to be arrived on the area. 6.7 seconds. Okay, that's good. Checkpoint, proceed. Nothing else to be happened to be seen on incoming animals around. Okay, 10% to go remaining. Looks like still in one piece. Distant update by 7.6 seconds is almost there towards the finish line. Yeah, that's a good steady on the RR drivetrain. Almost there. Just to have the last few more turns to go. Finish line is right over here. Whew. Amazing. Just over 5 minutes with 39 seconds by the decimal of 0.862 seconds. But that was the most spootastic street race event in up north of the state of Maine. But absolutely to have the Combi 21 window bus in the Ghost Hunt edition is the standard, shorter, and wide body to have a good different Halloween modification. So, reminder check to have enough stock is now being stored over to be sent into the mailbox. So I have to come back at any time because very good, and continuation to have my comeback is ready up, and check out to see what else am I supposed to do for the next full walkthrough of the video. But I forgot one other thing as I just been finishing in the main Highlands East. Only part 2 is now being prior to the next video in New York, just to have one stop by at Bronix for another hypercar event as Tito is ready to join in as he's ready up and have his McLaren P1 with his own variation. But in the meantime, because I already checked and acquired to be on normal difficulty as being prior to be ready up and get set to be on the main practice to have a clean racing and timing for having a long trip. But it's going to be a bit more longer, so I had to be patient and have this event to be finished and checked on normal difficulty as already been cleared. Alright, time for me to be ready up and go for having a good daytime on the progression. So let's go. The first turn is a bit more crowded, so I had to catch up with two McLaren F1 and P1. First place, here I come, and I'm in the lead. Just to have a natural reminder check, as I just really might need to do a better practice to go for the real deal after finishing from previous live summons. So I just done this once, and just gonna have to go on Bronix to do the better part as a training ground session to go again. So I have to watch my 6 and be on the main high-speed elevation to go right over here. Touchdown clear to be maintained by the space. Here comes the bridge, coming in and squeeze in by the street. Okay, still in one piece. Quality is still coming around on 1080p, but mostly because it will have to be preferred to be a much more safer without any further interruption by skipping part by blurry. But I always seen it every time during my WIP session on vehicles that needs to be required to have a complete edition. But only in this full walkthrough that needs to be required to have a full complete edition that will turn things around. So here comes on to Newport. Just gonna take the 90-degree angle turns on left and right before coming up to be on the main forward to be at Cape Cod as a finish line to be located from uptown New York to the state of Rhode Island. So gonna kick it up in the high gear and go for the full nitro after being used. Checkpoint going A clear. Alright. Gonna have to done this before. Going for a long straight to be short on the curve straightaway. Okay, 75% progression, almost there. Don't lose grip and balance. Braking does more important to myself. Alright, that's good. Gonna keep it up and go. now arriving in Rhode Island in Cape Cod. There it is, right over there by the small town. Okay, that's good to go. Now gonna have to make the left turn to be passed by and go around. Final stretch. Cleared by the podium. 3 minutes, 23.769 seconds in first place. Another fine challenge complete, and Bugatti Divo UDRS White Star has now made it and climbed up to be on the icon in 2690 level. Wow, it's been so very long to see how the progress I just did so very far. But thank you Live Summit event, and perfectly to have an icon 2690 is now go for a brand new level. So I bet a matter of time by the reminder changes after finishing where only one part of the event is now being prioritized to have one video segment from here until now. So very good. So very good, and having a second part of the hypercar event is now being checked on to the fifth part. So I hope this is going to be quite getting ready to wrap this up, you guys, because in the meantime, it'll have to be a very more longer trip on part 54 in the next video, as I'm about to be taken on in New York to be having a long trip to go places to places from the East Coast to the West Coast. This will be a very more difficult challenge because high earnings comes in to be double checked is now being acquired by having a normal, hard, and ace difficulty that you might need to get some high valuable earnings to go for having a farming work in progress. But in a matter of fact, just to have a main priority to be on the previous update video until this one to have some icon is now being seen to have some new changes. So I hope I'll have to be ready to go, and then the next video on part 50. So I had to get ready, and this time I'll have to do my best and do a timing of clean racing to go patient by the progress. So I hope you guys really enjoy watching the full walkthrough video in the Crew 2 folks. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for a like, comment, then click the bell for notification on upcoming content videos whenever you're welcome at any time. Don't forget to check it out on any social media platforms like DeviantArt, Instagram, Twitter, GT Planet, Discord, and Patreon to see for my own image artwork like UDRS liveries, Vision Total Drama fan art, Ricard liveries, and more whenever you're welcome at any time. I'll be see you guys next time for continue on in the full walkthrough in the Crew 2, and I look forward to see you again in the next video. Keep on racing, stay clean. Alright, WIP is now in the clear.